What's up, fellas? Sorry for the little delay in videos. I've just been busy with life, you know, busy with working and sleeping and working and sleeping and working and sleeping and all of that shit. I don't have all the free time in the world, but I got enough time to do this video now. But before we get into this video, I gotta shout out our album, The Video, which is Akasha and Unrest's Blood and Hate. This I would classify as black and roll. Like, it has elements of black metal and of rock and roll. It's got the upbeat, catchy riffs of rock and roll and the veracity and putridity of black metal. It's just one of my favorite combinations. Like, my album of the year last year was Hellripper's Coagulating Darkness. That was black and roll. It's just, I don't know, something about catchy riffs just gets me, my guy. But yeah, we're gonna be this is the second edition of my vinyl shit video. Yeah, let's get right into it. Kick off our little video today. We got ourselves a little Bat. Now, with Bat is a side project of Municipal Waste's one and only Ryan Waste, the lead guitarist. This is some really thrashy, I could almost say it has like a crust punk influence, but yeah, some straight up thrash metal, just, you know, pulse pounding, you know, ear shredding goodness. Let's see, what do we got next? Up next, we got some Bellwitch with Longing. Now, with Bellwitch, I got into them actually first last year with, you can see it up there, their album Mirror Reaper. I mean, that album cover is gorgeous. Yeah, Bellwitch is a funeral doom. If you don't know what funeral doom is, it's like doom metal. If you don't know what doom metal is, doom metal. No, I'm kidding. Okay, funeral doom. I would say funeral doom is like doom metal, except it's sadder, it's heavier, it's slower. And I mean, that's why they put funeral in front of it, you know. It's just really melancholic and dreary and just, you know, not something you'd listen to if you're in a good mood. But yeah, like I said, Mirror Reaper was my introduction into these guys. And this is probably my second favorite album that I've heard from them. I believe this does come on a cool pressing. Let me take a gander real quick. Oh, yep. Little translucent, smoky, black splatter. But yeah, this is a really sick gatefold too. Like, check this shit out. Talking about funerals, you know. It's a graveyard. That's kind of like how I draw. I like it. Reminds me of my artwork. But yeah, we got ourselves some Bellwitch. Now we are moving into the black section. You know, where with all the fucking bands of black in front of their name. Let's kick things off with the one and only Black Breath. Black Breath is okay, they are, I'd almost want to call them power violence. No. Are they on Southern Lord? Yeah, okay, they're on Southern Lord. Or at least for this album they were. Fuck. I'd put them maybe in the same category as Nails, if you're familiar with Nails. Nails kind of went in more of a punk and power violence direction, while Black Breath here went more of a sludge metal direction. The sound of this is crushing. The buzzsaw riffs are skull-splitting. Really catchy shit. Like, almost like every song on here has a fucking fantastic riff. And really tight drumming. I think the album cover, you know, is the best description that you could give for it. You know, sledgehammer to the face. But yeah, Black Breath was sentenced to life. What do we got next? Next up, we got a little Black Salice with Banished from Time. Now, with Black Salice, they are a raw black metal band, very dissonant. Like, their sound is basically just a evil conjuration of, like, just wall noise. It's so dreary and sounds really evil. I remember when I first bought this, I, like, turned all the lights off. I lit some candles. And I just put this on and just laid down, and I felt like I was a evil villain or something. Actually, I have a patch of theirs that's going on my black metal vest that I will show whenever I get that shit completely sewn. But yeah, Black Salice, came out last year. Ended up on one of my favorite albums of last year. But yeah, Banished from Time. Up next, we got another black metal band, which is Black Fast with Terms of Surrender. This is a blackened thrash band, like Bat and like Akasha and Unrest that we're listening to. Really catchy riffs, really upbeat, but it still has that harshness and that ferocity of black metal. I also have a Black Fast patch that's going on my black metal vest. But yeah, Black Fast, Terms of Surrender. Now we're gonna go on a little punk tangent, and if you, I'll probably put it in in the video title, but we got ourselves some Black Flag. Now, when it comes to Black Flag, I'm kind of a normie. I'm really only into the Henry Rollins shit. I mean, say what you want about Henry Rollins. He's a pretty polarizing guy. Like, when I was growing up as a teenager, I really looked up to him and, like, Jello Biafra of Dead Kennedys. They were, like, my heroes. But now that I've gotten older, I just realized that Henry is just a sad, bitter old man. No, I should do Henry like that. Henry's cool. I mean, he was pretty prolific and very important in the 80s punk scene. Still riding the Black Flag train. We got my favorite Black Flag album, which is good old Slip It In. Now, at the time when I bought this, I actually bought this physically at a record store, believe it or not. That was called Electric Fetus, and I bought it off a whim because I thought the album cover was funny. And I was already in the Black Flag at the time, like I was in the Damage, which I don't have on vinyl, unfortunately, and My War. You know, those were my first two, My War being my first, but we'll get to that in a second. But yeah, Slip It In. I remember first playing this when we got home from the record shop, and there's like sexual moaning and groaning at the beginning, and I had it up really loud, and I had to like panic to turn it down because I didn't want my parents thinking I was blasting porn in my room or something. But yeah, this has my favorite Black Flag song on here, Black Coffee. I fucking love that riff and that chorus. But yeah, favorite Black Flag album. Up next is my first Black Flag album, which I just mentioned, which is My War. Yeah, this is my second favorite Black Flag album. I remember I was drawn to this because I thought this dude looked like Hitler without his mustache. But yeah, some catchy, you know, hardcore, you know, tough guy, you know, Rollins and the boys. Yeah, Can't Decide is on here. That's probably my favorite song off here. I can't decide, do-do-do-do-do, you know. You know what I'm talking about, right? And to end our Black Flag train, we got Jealous Again. I don't have much to say about this album. I like it. It's not one of my favorites. But I also bought this at the same record store with Slip It In. But, you know, it's still some good shit. And now we are going to talk about some Black Mass Perverser with Life Beyond the Walls of Flesh. Now, these guys, this is like blackened death metal. I actually bought this off a whim from Bandcamp. Jeez, I just noticed these guys are fully erect right here. Anyway, yeah, I bought this off a whim because I thought the album cover looked cool. And I listened to a few tracks. I like doing that on Bandcamp, just like buying something with only listening to a few tracks, because I like surprising myself. You know, I'm a little weird like that. But yeah, I like it a lot. But yeah, Black Mass Perverser. Here's that Ace of Spades cover. Fucking sick shit. Now, if you know what this symbol means, then you might know what we're getting into now. And that would be Black Sabbath. First off, we got Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath. I'd say this is like mid to top tier Black Sabbath album. It's still really good. I mean, you know, the worst Black Sabbath album is still better than most other bands from that era. But yeah, I mean, yeah, something about Black Sabbath that I like a lot. There's usually like a chill track, you know, amongst them. Like, the first album had Sleeping Village, Paranoid had Planet Caravan, Master Reality, which unfortunately I don't own on vinyl at the moment, has Solitude, Volume 4 is Changes, and this has Fluff. There always seems to be a little chill section, but I don't mind it at all. I mean, good riffs, good times. Next Black Sabbath album. We're going off the Ozzy train a little bit. Now we're going to the only Dio era album I have. I believe this is the first pressing too, actually. We got ourselves some Heaven and Hell. I mean, I still like the Dio era. It's better than the fuckhead from Deep Purple. But, yeah, my favorite song on here being Neon Nights. I mean, that song is an absolute banger. I mean, it reminds me of, like, walking, like, in the city at night, you know, bustling through the streets. Up next, we got my favorite and everyone else's favorite Black Sabbath album, which is Paranoid. I remember first listening to this when I was, like, 14, and it rocked my world. I mean, I use the word banger a lot, but it's true. Every song off here is fucking amazing. I still listen to this album, like, religiously. My favorite song off here being Hand to Doom. I think they kind of pioneered the like, quiet chorus, quiet, verse, loud chorus, archetype. But yeah, my favorite song I just said that, goddammit. I'm tired. Paranoid, Black Sabbath. Like I say, sick shit. Then we got the first album, self-titled. Now, I wouldn't consider this metal. Besides the first song, the title track, that was the first metal song. But this is mostly blues rock, which I'm not complaining about. I still really love it. How much we got left of Black Sabbath? We got a few more. Next up is Volume 4. I'd say this is mid-tier Black Sabbath. I mean, there's obviously people out there who think this is their favorite, and I don't hold any gripes against them. People can listen to what they want to listen to, but I still love it, you know, it's still essential. Next we got Sabotage. My favorite song on here being, it's either Symptom of the Universe or Hole in the Sky. It just kind of depends on my mood, really. Yeah, this is the most interesting album cover, I think, besides Technical Ecstasy, which is two robots fucking, but got a little, you know, reverse mirror right there, you know. Geezer and the boys, Tony and the boys, Bill and the boys, Ozzy and the boys, you know. Sick shit. And to finish off our Black Sabbath section is 13. Now, when I first heard this, when I was, I had to be 15 or 16 at the time, Yeah, it blew me away. It was either this or Carcass's Surgical Steel was my favorite album of that year. I mean, it was mind blowing to me at the time. It's still, you know, it's a good finisher. It's still a good album. Just listening to it nowadays, it's just I just mostly listen to it for nostalgic purposes. Alright, we're done with Black Sabbath, and I'm gonna kind of skim through these next two albums because they were featured on my War Metal video. If you haven't watched, check it out. And I am talking about Black Witchery with Desecration of the Holy Kingdom. Some good old, you know, blasphemous war metal. You know, these two demons are, you know, cutting off Jesus' head and shit off the cross, you know. I'm really into blasphemous shit. I think it's cool. But yeah, you know, Black Witchery, essential war metal. And now for the most essential war metal album, which is Blasphemy's Fallen Angel of Doom. Yeah, war metal staple. Already talked about them in length in the war metal video, so you know, search my channel and check that shit out if you wanna see more war metal related shit. Two more and I'm done, I promise. Next up, we got Bloodbath with Grand Morbid Funeral. Now, like I said in some of my other videos, I'm not really in a death metal kick right now. But this album's still pretty good. I remember pre-ordering this when it came out. When did it come out? 2014 off Peaceville. But yeah, I haven't opened it yet. But you know, I've heard it digitally and I still like it. I mean, I don't love it a whole lot. If you know, it's still sealed. You know, if you want to buy it off me or something, you know, comment. And finish this guy off. We're gonna talk about some bongzilla. Shout out to my weed smokers out there. Yeah, I mean, as far as patriotism goes, this album cover is pretty blasphemous. You know, you got the Marine, you know, smoking a joint, and you got the American flag with the stars replaced as pot leaves. But yeah, my favorite song off here being Stonosphere. It's just really atmospheric. The mix and the guitars is really cloudy and thick and heavy. Really eclectic. This was like the first stoner metal album I ever got into, besides Master Reality. But yeah, you know, if you know you're a little inebriated, you know, can't go wrong with some good old bongzilla. Well, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. I will try to record another topic video in the future. But yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing and woo woo.